we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom! And welcome to today. Brought to you by Boss Shot Shells. Check them out at bosshotshells.com. I am Jeff Stanfield with the world famous Andy Shaver.
June the 2nd.
June 2nd.
We made it to Pride Month, boys and girls. Thank goodness.
Why are we bringing that up?
What are we? How could we ever live without Pride Month?
Pretty simple by ignoring it like I do.
I did see that most of the big name brands didn't do anything this year,
Including the White House. No flags.
Well,
Shouldn't have been.
That was a given.
Yes, it is.
But like last year, like all the like Apple and IBM and Paramount, they all like changed their profile pictures to incorporate the rainbow flag. This year is just business as usual.
And the Texas Rangers, God love them, the only baseball team that doesn't do any pride stuff.
That's right.
And there's 13 teams in the NFL that don't. And I saw somebody today was wanting to boycott them. Boycott them. We don't give a shit anyways. Wear your pink hats, your rainbows, and go somewhere else.
Bills gave out a whole playbook on how to be gay, I guess.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
On how to be gay?
Saw something.
It's a pretty simple deal. Sleep with someone of your own sex.
Bills release handbook. What is it?
We shouldn't make being heterosexual a thing, and we shouldn't make homosexual. And if you're confused in one of the other people, we shouldn't do shit for you either.
Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
All right. Well, my first person on today was a person that was born today.
Okay.
And he was on TV before there was any rainbow shit. I'm sure there was some rainbow stuff. We just didn't know about it. Anyways, he was on probably the first comedy show that was a very big hit that families watched. And it was about a nuclear family of 4. And everybody watched it when they would come home from school.
Married with Children.
No. About complete opposite of Married with Children as you can go.
Bill Cosby? No, he had a bunch of kids.
No, but he was a good family man though. That was a good family show. But Married with Children is not.
How is it not?
Married with Children?
He's a hardworking man, comes home every night. He never beat his woman, never cheated on her.
So if you want to go with that, it's an all-American family, then go ahead. But I'm going to think a little bit different.
He never hit her.
Mine is a gentleman named Jerry Mathers. Have you ever heard of him?
Brother to Walter?
No, that's Mathau.
Oh.
He was the Beaver.
Oh.
Leave it to Beaver.
That was way before my time.
I know it was. It was my time.
Yeah.
Jerry Mathers began his career at the age of 2 when he appeared as a child model for a department store ad. Soon after, he starred in a commercial for Pet Milk. His early movies included This Is My Love, Men of the Fighting Lady, The Seven Boys, Alfred Hitchcock's black comedy, The Trouble with Harry. And then he got his big debut, or big break, in Leave It to Beaver. Mathers states that he got the role of Beaver Cleaver after telling the show's producers he would rather be at his Cub Scout meeting than go do an audition for the part. The producers found his candor appealing and perfect for the role. Mathers played the Beaver for 6 years, appearing in all 234 episodes of the series. He was the first child actor to have had deal made on his behalf to get a percentage of the merchandising revenue from a television show. Leave It to Beaver still generates revenue more than 6 decades after its original production run. Have you ever seen it?
I've seen.
It's a very show from the 50s.
Hokey.
It is, but that was the 1950s. So is Barney Five and
it's not
Andy
as
Griffith.
hokey. That's not as hokey as
Well,
Beaver.
it was 7, 8, 10 years later. They could do a little bit more stuff on TV, but you know what the nastiest thing ever said on TV was? Ever?
According to that time?
Yes.
Darn.
It was on that show.
Darn?
No. Miss Cleaver tells her husband, she goes, Ward, I think he was a little hard on the Beaver last night. Nastiest thing ever said on TV in the 50s. Anyways, it was a good show. It was then after he got out of that, he went into the military. He quit acting when he got in high school. He attended Notre Dame High School in Sherman Oaks, California. He had a musical band, Beaver and the Trappers. While he was still in school, Mathers joined the U.S. military from 66 to 69. He was a member of the airlift wing, nicknamed the Hollywood Guard of the California Air National Guard in Van Nuys, California. He really never done much other than that. He's been married 3 times. But anyways, he was Leave It to Beaver. Jerry Mathers was the Beaver. When I'd get home from school when I was a little kid, it would come on. Had the best little song ever. But it was an all-American family. Mom was always dressed to the T every day. They had a warm meal every day. The The dad worked hard as a businessman, wore a suit. Thought it was a good show. So anyways, that was my person that was born today. The person that died today is arguably the greatest offensive tackle to play in football.
Larry Allen?
Yes. Larry Allen, November 27th, 1971 to June 2nd, 2024. Larry Allen grew up in Compton, California, and had a troubled childhood, including contracting meningitis and almost dying at 6 weeks old, as well as being stabbed 12 times in the head, shoulder, and neck by a younger neighbor while trying to protect his brother at the age of 10. He attended a different high school in each of his 4 years of high school. That usually has got a problem kid if he goes to 4 different schools. As a freshman, he went to Centennial High School in Compton. Allen lettered in football. For his sophomore year, he attended Tokay High School in Lodi. As a junior, Allen transferred to Edison High School in Stockton. He finished high school at Vintage High School in Napa, but never graduated school. Allen was not academically eligible to play NCAA Division I football, so he attended Butte College in California. Ain't that where Aaron Rodgers went too? In each of his 2 years at Butte, the team went 10-1 while winning the Golden Valley Conference, and Allen was named to the All-Conference and All-State teams both seasons. Allen was also recognized as a junior college All-American after his sophomore year. Allen did not attend any school the following year. After a year away from school, he enrolled at Sonoma State University, a Division II school north of San Francisco. In 2 years with the Cossacks, Allen gave up just 1 sack and was a 2-time All-American. The Cossacks were primarily a passing team and established 10 new school records, including most yards gained, most touchdowns passes. During Allen's senior season, the team set a school mark with 334 rushing yards against Cal State Hayward. As a senior, he participated in the East-West Shrine Game and the Senior Bowl. So when it comes to drafting him, everybody's scared to draft him because he is a small town, a small school deal. Allen's stock dropped in the 1994 NFL draft because of his small school background and rotator cuff injury. Allen was the 10th offensive lineman selected in the draft and the first player ever chosen from Sonoma State. He was selected in the second round, 46th overall, which marked the highest offensive lineman selected by the Cowboys since Howard Richards in 71. All Allen did with the Dallas Cowboys was be a Super Bowl champion, 6-time first-team All-Pro, 96 to 2001, second-team All-Pro in 95, 11-time Pro Bowler from 95 to 2001 and 2003 to 2006, All-Rookie Team, All-Decade Team, NFL 100th Anniversary All-Time Team, and the Dallas Cowboys Ring of Honor, and he will be in the Hall of Fame. He was 6'3", 325 pounds, ran a 5.2 40, but could bench press a house.
I'd get past his ass.
Well, if he
what he bench press, like 700 pounds?
700, 800 pounds.
700, 800 pounds?
If he got his hands on you,
you're fucked.
You were not getting around at all. But anyways, that was Larry Allen. That was my person that died today.
God rest him.
Now, my event is a series that debuted on TV on June 2nd, 2002. I have said before, I think it is the best series ever to grace TV. Ever. And it's up there with some ones I really, really like. And it might be the best.
What year?
2002.
Nope, not what I was thinking about.
What were you thinking of?
I was thinking Rescue Me. That
is a very good one too, but it's not Rescue Me.
Well, it's got to be The Sopranos in.
No. That is my number one, probably, is The Sopranos.
You just said.
No, this one's close to it, if not better. This is
The Wire.
Yes, The Wire.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
No.
You've never seen it? It's a must watch. If you're listening to me, and I have people all the time message me, what's something to watch on Netflix or Prime? Watch The Wire. It's an American crime television series created and primarily written by the American author and former police reporter David Simon for HBO. The series premiered on June 2nd, 2002, and ended on March 9th, 2008, comprising 60 episodes over 5 seasons. The idea for the show started as a police drama loosely based on the experience of Simon's writing partner, Ed Burns, a former homicide detective and public school teacher. Set and produced in Baltimore, Maryland, The Wire introduces a different institution of the city in its relationship to law enforcement. So basically, it starts out as these guys are trying to there's guys selling drugs in the projects. Mm-hmm. But the guy that's selling the drugs is a very, very sharp man, and he has taken his money and built legal businesses all around it while still running a very, very vicious drug operation, which would be equivalent to a cartel running it. And it's set up in the housing projects. One of the things that they really did on this was the people they cast. The cast in the show has been praised for avoiding big-name stars and using character actors who appear natural in their roles. One of my favorite is Wendell Pierce. Do you know who he is? He's a black guy that plays Buck Moreland on that. He also is in, here's a picture of him. You've seen him before. He's in John Grisham's. He's a very good actor. He was the first actor to be cast. And then the lead role of Detective Jimmy McNulty is set in tape he recorded the night before the audition. He sent it in himself, and that's who got it. And that's Dominique West. Lance Reddick received the role of Cedric Daniels, auditioning for the roles of Bunk and heroin addict Bubbles. Bubbles is he's the brother of a lady cop that's on there, and he's got all kinds of problems. He's on the streets doing stuff, but he helps his sister a lot. So it is a great series. They go into a lot of things that happen in probably Baltimore and all other seaport towns. They've got an Irish people that unload the ships. Well, they've got a union contract, and they've got a union boss, and they're stealing stuff out of the deals and selling it, but they take care of their own. So they start going after them. Then they've got the drug problems with the drug gangs in the inner city projects of Baltimore. And then one of the cops is a cop there because his father-in-law is like a chief there. Mm-hmm. And he beats the shit out of some kid with a gun, and they have to take him off the streets. Eventually, he goes and teaches. That's what he wanted to do, is be a teacher. And he goes and teaches the inner city school. And I'm telling you right now, if you're watching this show, and this is a TV show, but TV show depicts reality so many times, inner city schools are a mess.
Yes.
And it shows the inner city schools and how bad they are.
What did I read? Like 70% of Baltimore is illiterate?
I think it's more than that even. It's the worst school system in the United States.
Baltimore students are illiterate. And here I am making fun, and I can't spell illiterate. 77.
77, almost 80% of the kids are illiterate.
77% tested at Baltimore High School read at an elementary level.
That's wow. Terrible. And all the money they get.
Wow.
But when you watch this show and you see these schools and the crap these teachers and stuff go by, you're talking about a 14-year-old kid. I went to a basketball tournament this weekend, and the Haskell boys were playing, besides Dylan Them's group. And they've got a young man that's in 7th grade that plays basketball for them. And the kid is a hell of an athlete. I was very impressed by him. But he's got to be 6 foot, 6'1", 165. His arms are bigger than yours. He's cut. I mean, he is a mature, and he's a 7th grader. Mm-hmm. These inner city schools, there's 100 kids just like that in there.
Right.
And you got these teachers trying to teach these people. They get threatened and stuff. I mean, it's just not it's horrible. I feel sorry for the kid that they're really trying to learn.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a bad deal. There was another movie kind of like that. Bunch of movies like that, actually. I can't remember them.
But
The Substitute, maybe? Was that one?
Yes, with Jim Belushi.
Yeah.
Public schools are a mess.
Oh, yeah.
They really are. And teachers are handcuffed.
Oh, yeah.
And administration. You can't get on to a kid. You can't corporal punishment. I think if you went to Baltimore schools in 1960 when they whooped your ass, I bet you didn't have them problems. And I bet you their literacy rate was a lot better in 1960 than it is in 2025.
I don't even know how you get a handle on this at this point.
Well, I don't know either, because you can't go in. My answer would be something that people would bitch about. They'd say, oh, it's a police state. I'd send in the military and take over some of these neighborhoods and stuff and put troops on the street and stuff. Kind of take down the law and order. Let me finish. Take over law and order and put some of these military people in these classrooms where people are going to be respectful. But then people would bitch and gripe. Well, you can't do that. First of all, most of those schools are going to be black kids.
Yeah.
Or people of color, whatever they are. And then so you're going to have people bitching and saying it's racially motivated. No, if you want to get things fixed, that's what we're going to have to do, though.
I mean, it goes deeper than that. It's all family.
Well, there's no dads at home. Mom, the hardworking mom that works her ass off trying to get her kids out of there, she's got to bust her ass just to barely be able to afford to pay rent. And so she's not home all the time. And then the kids that don't have a dad, that live with grandma and stuff, they're running loose on the streets anyways. Grandma's tired. She raised her great grandma. She's tired. She's 70 years old. Last thing she's doing is wondering if, little whoever it is at home at 10 o'clock at night, not on the streets.
Right. I think it just goes further than military involvement.
No,
until you can fix the family, I think you're just pissing uphill.
Well, I don't think we're going to be able to fix the family with what we've done. I don't know that. I don't even know the answer to that.
I don't even know how to fix the family.
I don't have an answer for that. But I think if we put military type presence in some of these neighborhoods where we could clean some neighborhoods up a neighborhood at a time in a school, maybe at least then the kids that are trying would have a fair shot.
Wouldn't have to worry about gang violence breaking out into the middle of math class with the kids that want to be there.
Yeah, you got two big Marines in every class, and people are going, what,
That's really what we're using our military for, though?
Well, I don't know. I don't know that. And that's my only answer.
And then, like, how far? So you're going to have that smart-ass kid. How far are you going to let the Marines take it?
That they should be able to take it and beat his little ass until he shuts up and starts behaving. But then you get into trouble. That's what I mean.
That either.
No, that's what I'm saying. But
I mean, just because you have the intimidation factor, those kids know this guy can't fucking touch me. I'm a minor.
That's right.
What's he gonna do to me?
That's what we didn't
yell at me. Okay.
That's what we didn't have in the 60s and 70s because a coach would whip your ass. And that's what they need to have. And I think we need more black coaches in those situations.
Sure.
Because they can get by with more of that. But that's what we need. But we got too many. The parents are bad. Parents go up there and bitch because their kid gets in trouble at school, but then they're mad because their kid can't read. Well, who you mad at? You mad at you ought to be mad at yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, Jameson is 6 years old and he reads better than probably half the kids graduating from Baltimore's public schools.
Can spell better too.
Ain't that sad?
Yeah.
I mean, that really is. I mean, what's the illiteracy rate in America right now? Compared to what it was 30 years ago or 40 years ago. And 50
I
years
told
ago.
you a couple podcasts ago that they use literacy rates to decide how many prison beds to make. Yes, 79% of Americans. Hold on. The U.S. adult literacy is generally considered to be around 79%, meaning that about 79% of adults have English literacy skills sufficient to complete tasks required.
So Baltimore's complete opposite of that.
Yeah,
They've got 80%
inverted.
that can't read. While
80% of Americans can read. So basically that 20% is all Baltimore.
Basically, you're right.
I mean, that would be interesting to...
What's Chicago's public schools?
I don't know, but that would be an interesting stat for somebody to figure out. Of the 21% that are not literate in America, how much does Baltimore contribute to that 21%? Basically, it sounds like it's Baltimore and a couple other places. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I gotta say. I wonder what the literacy rate is worldwide.
I bet in China it's about 9, or Japan.
I'm just gonna go a worldwide stat. Worldwide, 86.3. So we're behind.
What is worldwide?
86.3.
The literacy rate for high school students in Chicago is 85%.
Oh, really?
So they're above the national average even.
Good for Chicago.
But their math skills are way low. Just 19% of low-income Chicago students in grades 3 through 8 can read.
You want a map
Did
of
you hear
all
that?
the...
19% of low-income families in Chicago, grades 3 through 8 can read. And only 11% of them can do their math. That's terrible.
Here's the map for literacy.
I'm assuming in
Blue is
Africa's
good.
red is
Blue
the worst.
is good.
Greenland is killing it.
Yeah.
India, is that India right there? Or not India? What is that above India? Pakistan?
Oh, one of those.
That southeast belt right there, that's where the smartest people in the world are.
Oh, yeah. Anyway.
Well, that's interesting, but that's
Make
terrible.
a lot of prison beds if you're in Baltimore.
Yep. In spring of 2023, 26% of Chicago's 3rd through 8th grade students could read at grade level, edging closer to 27% from the spring of 2019. Only 18% were proficient in math this spring compared to 24% in spring. So in the last 5 years, it's gotten worse in Chicago. So there you go. Thank y'all for listening to us. God bless y'all. Have a great week. Check out BossShotShells.com. Bye.
Watch for deer.